Hi everyone, it's your buddy, it's your pal. I'm Karnak, and this is Star Wars Armada Explained. Appreciate you watching a video today. We're going to be looking at the ship title Implacable for the Acclimator ships. Uh, Sorry for how long it was before I put out this video, as I was ensuring I was spending enough time on launching, or helping to launch, the Armada rules form, and that was soaking up a lot of my extra time that I had. But this is the last Wave 9 card for me to do, so we're going to knock it out. So Implacable or Implacable, however you want to call it, the ship that's on fire there. If you look in front of its name, you'll see a little dot or bullet point, signifies that it is unique. You can only have one of these ships in your fleet. Next to it, you'll see the double arrow turning cycle. You know, that means it's a recur icon. It means if this card is exhausted during the status phase, you're able to unexhaust this card without paying a cost. How do you know it equips to an Acclimator? Besides the fact that the picture shows one, bottom left-hand corner of the card shows the ship icon. Opposite corner, you'll see that again it's Republic specific, and it's 4 points. So for this card, we're going to read through the text, and then we'll break down, you know, bit by bit, and as many interactions as I've been able to identify. So the card reads, before a friendly ship or squadron at distance 1 to 2 suffers damage from an attack, you may exhaust this card and spend up to 2 shields from your front hull zone to reduce the total damage by that amount. This card is great for helping to keep like this card paired with like Kit Fitzo is just like, man, good luck ever trying to kill that guy or some of the other like scatter squadrons. It's just, or you know, you use this ship as a support, and we'll get into some of the weaknesses of this card in a little bit. But this card is great at supporting other things, as long as it's not getting shot in the front. Because again, when you are utilizing this card, you're reducing the shields on your front. So if you run out of shields on your front, then you're not able to utilize the effect of this card. So you kind of have to either, you know, make sure that you're shifting shields up there, or it's not taking any additional damage to reduce its effectiveness. But let's break down some interactions for this. So again, for the timing of this card, specifically, it is in the resolve damage step of an attack, and it is before you suffer damage. So the timing of that exactly is after an attacker has determined a critical effect, if applicable, and then it's before you actually, you know, suffer damage. So the timing, again, this reduction shares the same timing as when you apply brace, meaning the defender can choose which is resolved first. However, there is no benefit in applying Implacable until after you reduce the damage of brace, just because then there is just less damage to deal with compared to if you do it before, you're screwing yourself. So don't do that. So you are able to choose Implacable itself as a target for its effect. So for example, if this ship was being attacked in its rear hull zone, you could resolve this effect and suffer 2 damage on your front zone instead. So think of it as kind of like a free redirect for your own ship as well. Because again, it's not stating before another friendly ship or squadron. It says just before a friendly ship, meaning it's friendly to itself. It's not restricted. You are able to use the card on itself. So that's pretty nice. Another part is, for example, like if one of your squadrons is being attacked by Dutch or an Exogorth, if Implacable is able to prevent that squadron from suffering any damage, then their effects would not resolve, as that squadron did not suffer any actual damage. And this is largely in regards to like the activating of their activation slider. You're not able, or Implacable is not only able to be used on damage that is from attacks, or it is only able to be used on damage that is from attacks and not from damage that is not an attack, such as obstacles, mines, cluster bombs, etc., as these are not attacks. Pretty much, did you go through all the steps of an attack? You can use this card. Did you not go through any steps of an attack, but you're otherwise suffering damage? You can't use this card. You are able to use Implacable on friendly unarmed stations, such as in Station Assault if they're being attacked, because they are considered ships. and they're friendly to whoever controls those stations. And yeah, so that is Implacable. So very, very straightforward for this card. One thing I'm forgetting to mention is because I don't have my reminders as I usually do when I was using some unauthorized program before, is that, when measuring range for what's in range of this card, so again, for that distance 1 to 2, you are measuring from the shortest point to the shortest point of the ship's base to the closest point on a friendly ship's base or the squadron base. You do not measure cardboard to cardboard because this isn't an attack. It's an effect, so you just measure from shortest point to shortest point. Do not include shield dials or shield frames when doing your measurements. And yeah, so in terms of this card, very good in terms of just, especially if like your squadrons are getting alpha, you're trying to keep something alive like an escort. You can spend up to 2 shields, so that can either be 1 or it can be 2. And it refreshes itself every round. So practical purposes, you're probably only getting maybe 3 at most 4 uses from this card, but again, you have to have shields up there to get the most benefit. So works great with Bale if you're able to throw repair command it, regenerate those shields. I've seen a version of this where it's just super tanky, has repair, and just able to, clone navigate officer just for the repair token, just to generate, those shields back. Again, where this card is not so successful at is the range restriction. 1 to 2 is essentially close range is where you have to be. So hard to fly in formation with these kinds of ships because their navigation chart is so awful. Very hard to get these ships kind of to go exactly where you want them to and keep up with other ships. So again, the short distance kind of makes this card a little bit difficult to use. And again, if it's being shot in the front, which again, acclimators have that huge front arc, if they're consistently getting pegged in there and you run out of shields, well, then you are not able to utilize this effect unless you put more shields back up in there. But that's, for a support ship, if you're using it to push squadrons or otherwise able to utilize it to help out something else that's going to be dealing all the damage. It pairs great with a Venator. The Venator's up front. It wants to take the hits. The Acclimator doesn't. So there's places for it. But that's the Implacable. Of course, if you have any questions, if you feel like I got anything wrong, please be sure to leave a comment. Let me know. At some point, I will start getting into the new Wave 10 cards. There's a lot of them, so it will take me quite some time to get through all those. But of course, any questions have here or for the rules forum, let me know. Again, if you do have something very specific that you're not certain about, Atomic Mass Games definitely would appreciate if you would ask that on the rules forum so that all other players can kind of see whatever your concern is. But thank you so much for watching, and hey, I'll catch you next time.